Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of Fearless Tarot, How to Give a Positive Reading in Any Situation, which is out now from Llewellyn Books. So if you like my empowering approach to tarot, you're really going to enjoy this book. It's time for this week's Oracle Reveal. So earlier today on Instagram, I placed up a photo of 3 different animals, and I asked you to use your intuition and just ask yourself which animal is getting caught in your head, because that animal has a message for you. And the 3 animals were the brownie bear, the beautiful butterfly, and the delicate dove. So if you're just joining us right now, ask yourself which animal's calling to you, because that animal has your message. For those of you who picked the brownie bear, the card says power, inner strength, and healing. And if you're attracted to bear, bear is all about going within the cavern, hibernating, chewing on your ideas a little bit before returning to the world again, and also seeking healing. This might be a time to really nurture yourself and also to be strong in the face of your life challenges. Sometimes the answer that you're looking for isn't going to be found outside of yourself in the world doing the right thing or accomplishing the right goal, but instead it's going to be found if you can get quiet, if you can turn inward, and if you can listen to that inherent inner wisdom that's always whispering in the background of your consciousness. First card for bear is where it's best to place your focus this next week. And we got the Ace of Cups, which is the quintessential card of love. The Ace of Cups just says very simply that you can recreate a new beginning in your life whenever you decide to. Aces are always a card of a fresh start. And in the case of the Ace of Cups, it's saying that you can create a positive new beginning by just investing some love into the thing that you're trying to change. Sometimes we think we just need to work, we need to push, we need to struggle, we need to fight for whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish. But that usually sets us up for a combative existence with the very thing that we're trying to achieve. The Ace of Cups is saying very simply that what you're going to want to do is invest in your love for the thing you're trying to transform, to make the new beginning something that you feel good about, something that you're investing a positive emotion to. And it's just so interesting how things all fall into place when you're letting love be your guide. The second card is advice from your inner wisdom if you're attracted to the bear. And you got the 5 of Wands. And this card shows 5 adolescents. They're all battling it within each other. They're all battling it out with each other, trying to decide who's got the biggest stick. The 5 of Wands could indicate that your inner wisdom is telling you to stop looking at what so-and-so is doing, how so-and-so is doing their work or accomplishing what their goal is, and instead to really turn inward. As long as you're investing your work or your purpose with love at this time, you can transcend the drama. Sometimes that 5 of Wands could also just indicate don't engage. Your inner wisdom might be telling you don't meet people on an immature level. If they're acting like an adolescent and they're always right and they're storming off or hot-headed, you might want to just transcend that kind of behavior and know that, you know what, that's not going to be for you right now. The 5 of Wands will always encourage you to rise above things. And even that dove that appears on the Ace of Cups card could indicate that this is a time to transcend a conflict or a situation that's difficult by just embodying your better angels or being your best self. Finally, the mythic archetype that is going to help you, if you pick the brownie bear, is Achilles, who is the warrior in ancient Greece. He's also a figure of bravery, being courageous, and he also is set apart from all the other heroes. He's the most powerful, he has the greatest talent, and he makes the best use of his time. He dies young, and there's a prophecy that he could live old and have a boring life and live very long if he wanted to, or he could live a life of excitement or glory, but it would be much shorter, and he chose glory. So this could be a time where you really make best use of your time if you pick brown bear. This is going to be a time where you really want to invest in what you love, as if there's a time limit on it. Like, you aren't guaranteed another 10 years to accomplish this. Why won't you start it? So I just feel like you want to stay away from the competitive comparison game and return to what you love and just go for it. The second animal is the beautiful butterfly, and the card says renewal, transformation, and adaptability. So if you're attracted to butterfly, I mean, it's a no-brainer. You're going to be attracted to change, transformation, and finally emerging from your own cocoon and sharing your radiance with the world. Butterfly is always a good card for transformation. So I just feel like this could be a time where if you're thinking of making a change, just get the ball rolling, get it started. And a little clue as to what those changes might be could be found in these cards. So where it's best to place your focus, if you're the butterfly, is on what you're hanging on to with that Four of Pentacles. Here we see the miser. He's holding these 4 coins so tightly. He's thinking they're going to bring him security. But if we look at his face, he's actually miserable. The Four of Pentacles will always ask you to take a mental inventory of what you're hanging on to, what you're really possessive of or resistant to letting go of. And maybe ask yourself, is this thing even making me happy anymore? Am I hanging on to the security thinking that this is going to be what's going to make me happiest when I'm just feeling miserable in this process? So Four of Pentacles really encourages you to let go of those things that have become burdensome that you no longer need. The next card is Advice from Your Inner Wisdom. And we actually get the Three of Wands, which I just love this card. It shows the figure who's looking over the sea and the waters are glowing orange from sunrise or sunset. This is saying that the sun is setting on one part of your life and it is now rising on the next. Very butterfly-esque. The Three of Wands says that despite your worst fears, nothing has been irrevocably screwed up yet in your life. It's wide open and waiting. You still have options. And you might have been so used to hanging on to these things for security in the past, and now it might be a time to surrender them, let them go, and chart a new course for your future. This is going to be an intense time of transformation, and nothing's been messed up yet. It's all based on the choices that you're going to make right now. Nothing is set in stone. And then finally, the mythic archetype that is going to help you with change and transformation if you pick the butterfly is Hecate. She is the goddess of the crossroads. Hecate guides those people who find themselves at the proverbial fork in the road. And this could be a time for butterfly where there's 2 options in front of you, 2 paths that are spreading out before you. And what you're needing to do is pick the path that leads toward your limitlessness, your freedom, the thing that feels like it makes your heart swell with joy. And maybe not pick the path of the same old, hanging on to your misery. So follow Hecate's lead and pick the right crossroad. And then finally, the last animal we have is the delicate dove. And the card says compassion, healing, and harmony. And dove is this quintessential symbol for peace, transcendence, and also spirit. Sometimes if we're attracted to dove, we can get messages from spirit or the other side or people even who passed on. So this card could say that you want to pay attention to little signs or signals that might be coming your way. And it actually could be a message from that spiritual realm. First card for dove is where it's best to place your focus this next week. And look at that, we got the High Priestess herself. The High Priestess has to do with inner wisdom, listening to that inner call. The High Priestess is also a card of initiation, and she's saying that before you, if you pick the dove, is a threshold that it's important to cross. The High Priestess always encourages you to go deeper than the surface. We get so little out of tarot or symbolism if we just make a snap judgment about the card or the image we pick. And the High Priestess encourages you to pull back the veil and access that deep ocean of inner wisdom, which is really whispering what that sign or symbol is going to mean for you. So when we see the High Priestess, she's just telling you to go deeper. The advice from the High Priestess and your inner wisdom is actually the 8 of Cups reversed. And when the 8 of Cups comes up reversed, it tells you to walk away from anything that isn't authentic, anything that doesn't feel right. Also, the moon features so strongly in both of these cards. The High Priestess is crowned with it, and also the eclipse is happening on the 8 of Cups where the moon is blocking out the sun. This is going to be a time for dove where you really want to let your inner wisdom take precedence over your image, what you're trying to prove to other people, or what you're trying to say in the world. And then finally, the mythic archetype that is going to help you, if you pick the delicate dove, is Demeter. She's a goddess of harvest, and she's also the goddess of grain and fields, but she's also the goddess that knows grief. This could be a nice healing time for dove, where you're getting a message to assuage your grief or sadness or a time of feeling lost. And Demeter could just be leading you forward and saying that help is on the way and your spirit is going to guide you forward. And that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, you can always check me out at elliotoracle.com. Otherwise, I hope you all have a safe and happy week. And I will see you again next week. So take care.